The Roadmap tab is where you assign decarbonization strategies to the segments to meet your proposed targets. This tab is designed to consolidate information provided across the previous tabs and give you a way to estimate the impact of different decarbonization strategies for different portfolio segments. You can see real-time feedback on how these strategies are impacting the progress towards the carbon emissions and energy-saving targets. The tab is divided into 3 different sections: the Results Tracker, the Existing Building Work Plan, and the New Construction Work Plan. You can either scroll to these sections or use the buttons on top to navigate there. We will begin with the Existing Buildings Work Plan section. This section of the roadmap is where you'll assign decarbonization strategies to portfolio segments and see their effect on emissions. First, you will need to assign a decarbonization strategy. These are categorized into 3 types: energy efficiency, which includes light energy retrofits, moderate energy retrofits, and deep energy retrofits; electrification, which includes hybrid heat pump domestic hot water, heat pump domestic hot water, hybrid heat pump space heating, and heat pump space heating. And lastly, renewable energy, which includes on-site solar and off-site emissions reductions. You will have the option to adjust the strategy savings from low, medium, or high. This slightly modifies the energy savings associated with the strategy. If you do not select anything, it will default to medium. Next, select the portfolio segment and enter the percentage of the portfolio segment to which you would like to apply the strategy. Columns F and G will provide information to help you understand the number of properties and units impacted. If the decarbonization strategy is on-site solar, provide the percentage of RECs retained in the Input 1 value column. If the decarbonization strategy is off-site emission reductions, provide the carbon emissions rate of the renewable energy or cleaner electricity purchased and the percentage of RECs retained in the Input Value 1 and Input Value 2 columns respectively. If you're unsure of the carbon emissions rate to enter, leave this field blank. Lastly, you have the option to include the implementation year and any potential incentives for the decarbonization strategies. The next section we'll go to is the New Construction Work Plan. This section of the roadmap allows new construction to be added to the portfolio that will be constructed after the current year but prior to the target year. As new construction is likely to be more efficient than the existing buildings in the portfolio, it is accounted separately in the roadmap. First, select the baseline energy code that is most prevalent where the new construction is occurring in the portfolio. Enter the estimate of the number of new housing units that will be constructed between the current year and the target year. Then, estimate the typical square footage of the new housing units in the portfolio. The roadmap provides the average unit size of the existing portfolio for reference. Assign the percentages of the expected new units to the 6 categories below. There are 3 levels of energy savings: baseline code, 15% better than code, which aligns with the Energy Star program, and 50% better than code, which aligns with Passive House, DOE Zero Energy Ready Home, and other advanced energy programs. And then each level has the option to include solar as an additional decarbonization strategy. For each category, select whether the units will be all electric or if they will use fossil fuels and what percentage of the new construction units it applies to. For housing units with solar, provide the percentage by which the total electricity usage will be provided by renewable energy generation. For reference, the typical community solar programs provide ranges between 10 and 20%. Note, new construction will increase the absolute carbon emissions and energy usage of the portfolio. However, it is highly likely to decrease the carbon emissions intensity and energy intensity of the portfolio. Lastly, we come to the results tracker. This tracker shows how the selected decarbonization strategies are impacting progress towards carbon emissions reductions and energy efficiency reduction targets. In addition, the results tracker provides information on two types of measurement: absolute change and intensity change, which is the absolute change over the square footage of the segment. Note, in some cases, targets may be achieved for one measurement but not the other due to the other changes in the portfolio, like acquisitions, dispossessions, and new construction.